Enzo Fernández, Real Madrid, Tchouameni, Jose Mourinho, Florentino Perez, Todd Boehly, yeah? This entire transfer window has become Real Madrid versus Chelsea, right? Now, there is one big one we are looking at, the Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich, right? With the Olise one. But another one, right, is the Real Madrid versus Chelsea, right? Madrid won Chelsea player, Chelsea won Madrid player. So now how that's going to turn out, we don't really know. Enzo Fernández, right, it's not even the latest. It's the name that has been popping up that wants to go to Madrid. Since mid-season, last season, after Enzo Maresca left, he went to Madrid. On international break, started saying stuff that he loved Madrid. He's basically twerking for Madrid, right, as people would say. Now, reports coming out that he is one of Madrid preferred target in midfield. There are other people on the list, but Jose Mourinho wants him, right? Now, before we get into the details about that, welcome to Famous Football. I'm your host, Let's Talk Football, right? Enzo Fernández to Real Madrid. The man wants the move. Madrid wants the player, right? It seems that it's going to happen. But according to multiple reports, there hasn't been any negotiation so far. Now, people say there have been personal term agreed. People say there have been disagreed. But according to Fabrizio Romano and other renowned journalists, as of now, there is no club-to-club negotiation. Right, at least not here. And now I can give you a speculation, a theory as to why Madrid is holding out for now, right? Because there's also rumor, right, that Olise is looking to have a conversation with Bayern Munich after the World Cup. So I think Madrid looking at it based on that conversation, how it goes, right? Then they will go in for Enzo Fernández, because I don't think they're ready to spend 120 million on Enzo Fernández and then go and spend about 200 million or close to 200 million or even 200 million plus on Olise. So if they know they guarantee or chance of signing Olise, they're going in for Olise and dropping Enzo Fernández, right? So depending on how everything go, because remember, there were times when Madrid was saying Tchouameni and Camavinga could leave the club. Now, and then at a certain point, they started also saying that Tchouameni is not for sale, right? So, depending on how the conversation with Olise and Bayern goes, right, that will determine if Tchouameni is for sale or he's not for sale. Because if they're going to bring in Enzo Fernández, they need to get rid of one midfielder. Now, Camavinga, we know, is more likely to leave. PSG is linked with him, right? We get that. But Tchouameni, on the other hand, they're putting a hold on him because they need somebody to play in that deep line. And that's why they're trying to bring Enzo Fernández in. But Enzo Fernández coming over there, depending if they can get Olise this season or not, or this particular transfer window or not. Yeah. That's my theory about the whole thing, depending on how that conversation with Olise goes, right? After the World Cup, before we would know if and only if Real Madrid can come in for Enzo Fernández. That's my theory, but we will find out about that. But now, with them and Chelsea, right, in terms of him going over and what Chelsea also looking for. Now, here's the news, right? Xabi Alonso is determined to stop Real Madrid from signing Chelsea midfielder Enzo Fernández. The Spanish coach wants to keep Fernandez and is pushing to prevent any move to the Bernabeu from progressing. If Chelsea eventually agree to sell the Argentine international, Alonso will ask the club to sign Aurélien Tchouaméni from Real Madrid as his replacement. Right? This is it. But all of that is dependent. So I think Madrid already knows that if, right, they sign Enzo Fernández, Chelsea will want, what's his name? Tchouameni. I think they are already know aware of all of that, but they are not willing to go to spend cash, like 150 or 120 million on him, knowing fully where they want Olise, right? And I think Olise is their preferred option right now. If there's anybody they want to bring in, it's Olise. So Olise is their number one priority in the transfer market. Now they're already getting their backline sorted, right? They have Mbappe. Vinicius is still there at least for another season, right? And if they can get Olise, which is what they want, right? I don't think they're going to get Enzo Fernández. The Enzo Fernández must stay at Chelsea. But Xabi Alonso is saying to Chelsea, I want to keep him. So if you can get him to stay, let him stay. But if not, if he's going to Madrid, then make sure you bring in Tchouameni. Because we already know Tchouameni was very crucial for Alonso when he was in Real Madrid, right? You see Tchouameni, Housen, and Mbappe, Adagulo, those 4 people was very, very much crucial in the way Alonso was trying to play. So bringing him over to Chelsea would be very good in terms of trying to ease this transition or help the other players to be able to understand what Alonso is trying to do and what Alonso himself is looking for as a coach, right? So I'm 100% with that. But now I know some other Chelsea players, not players, but fans won't really encourage the idea of Enzo Fernández staying, because we want somebody that wants to stay, that is not using the club as a stepping stone like Maresca did, right? I already did a video about that. You can go check it out, right? But would you take Enzo Fernández again, right? If instead, would you be okay with it? I personally would be, right? I would be okay with it. I want to see what Alonso can do with him, right? And I'll be okay if he leave and we can get Tchouameni as well. So let me know your thoughts down below about this whole saga. The theory about Enzo Fernández, Olise, Tchouameni, Real Madrid, and everything that is going. Real Madrid, Bayern, and Chelsea. This triangle, what happened in there? Tell me what you think. What's your opinion about that? Much appreciated, ladies and gentlemen. See you in the next video. There's more coming your way. See you very, very soon. Adios.